Hi and welcome to the channel. My name is John and today we're going to be discussing adding a tune to my car. So when it comes to adding a tune, there's a lot of different options out there. Now I'm not going to be going forced induction, so I'm not going to be doing a supercharger or twin turbos. I just want to do a tune. There's a couple reasons I wanted to do a tune. First of all, there was a recent update that was completed, a recall that was done earlier in the year by Lamborghini, and it actually made the car much quieter. I think they closed the valves below like 4,000 or 4,500 RPMs. Supposedly it had something to do with some sort of European emissions or sound standards. So the car, it got rid of a lot of the cracks and pops that used to exist on the car, so that's one of the main reasons. Another reason is it would be nice to get a little bit extra horsepower. So these ones are supposed to be rated at 580, which I think actually comes out to like 572 horsepower. So with a tune, you're looking at unlocking on this particular model, anywhere from 40 to 50 extra horsepower, which is quite a bit difference, noticeable difference, and just get that little aggressive sound back. So my journey began with asking some friends. So one of the first friends I reached out to was Samuel Hübinette. He does have a Huracán and has done supercharger and tunes on his vehicle. And so he recommended VF Engineering. Funny enough, when I was at Monterey Car Week just a couple months ago, I ran into Nick, the owner of VF Engineering, at the Serata Italiana show, or the event. And so we got to talking, I asked him some questions and got a little bit more information about the company. When I got back, I did a little bit more research. And again, there's a lot of different companies out there that are doing tunes. And in my opinion, at the end of the day, VF Engineering, they had a great, they have a good reputation. I saw the numbers that they're putting down. A lot of different owners have used them, and in the price also. Pretty fairly aggressively priced compared to some of the other alternatives out there. And it is customizable, so you get to talk with them as far as what you get to do. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to head back inside, I'm going to jump online, and I'm going to go ahead and place the order now that I decided to go with this tune. And I'm going to walk you through this entire process, and then we'll see how it sounds before and after and if there's any kind of noticeable difference. So let's head inside. So now that we're on the computer, let's go ahead and get this browser launched. All right, so we're going to head over to VF Engineering, and we'll head to the website, and we're going to head over to software, and you can just look for your vehicle. So I'm going to have the Huracán 580-2 and the 610-4. So we'll click on that because I guess it's for both vehicles. Yep, looks like it covers the 580-2 and the 610-4. So on this particular vehicle, it looks like these are some of the benefits that we'll get out of this: higher torque limitation, higher torque allowed on launch, faster upshifts by 20%, faster downshifts by up to 10%, optimized oil temperature allowance, optimized oil pump pressure, and an improved feel. So what we're going to end up doing is we'll go ahead and place the order. Also, here's the numbers. For my car, the 580-2, we're looking at up anywhere between 40 to 50 extra wheel horsepower, whereas on the 610, since it's already 30 horsepower more, we're looking at a smaller 25 to 30 wheel horsepower increase. You also get another 25 to 30 wheel torque. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to choose ECU Performance Software. Yep, and I'm going to go ahead and hit add, because it looks like there's a transmission also one. But I'm just going to go with the ECU here. So go ahead and add to cart. Check out. Okay. So I'm going to go and let's see here, put my information in, and then I'll skip all my personal information being input here, but it looks like you're just going to hit, you can create an account also. Looks like you can log in, create an account, which I may end up doing there just to have it saved in my cart. But you'll put your name, information, credit card information in and hit pay now. So let me go ahead and get this paid, and then I'll head back over to the screen. Okay, so I placed my order. I was in the Chrome browser before, and as you can see, you have your different express payout options. One other thing, you cannot create an account before making your order. So I clicked login. There was no way to create an account. So it looks like something that you can do after you place your order. Another thing, I have Apple Pay. So I wanted to get my 2% back from using Apple Pay. So I ended up switching from, that's why I have this second window open here. I ended up opening up a Safari browser, went back in, placed my order, And so my order's been placed, but I did it through Apple Pay in order to get my 2% back. So for some reason, I don't know why, they only allow Google Pay on Chrome, probably because it's owned by Google. And if you do have Apple and you want to use Apple Pay, then you have to use a Safari browser, so FYI. So now that the order's been placed, I will follow up once I get the ODB2, I think they call it the HEX something or other. Let me actually go back here. It's called the, let's go through this here real quick. Install process, here we go. So you're gonna get this HEX Flash Cable reader. So one thing I didn't explain earlier is what they do is they'll send this device to you by mail, and then what ends up happening is you gotta plug it into a laptop. And so I did have to go out and buy a PC since I am on Mac. It's not compatible. So I purchased a little PC laptop, which you'll plug in, and then you'll upload your stock, the OEM ECU software, and then they'll, you're going to send it over to them, and then they can send you both files, and then you can either upload the existing OEM file or the tuned file. So just to kind of backtrack on that, but yep, and there's a video which I watched already, which is, I'll leave a link to this particular video if you want to watch the installation process and how it works, because he does a much better job explaining it than I do. So I'll come back once we get this little HEX Flash cable by mail. Okay, so I just received the package today. This is from VF Engineering, and I placed this order last Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. So it got here in just less than a week. So let's go ahead and get this opened up, and let's see what this HEX cable looks like. All right, let's go ahead and get this unboxed. Came in this nice little box here. And here's the cable. So this will get plugged into the OBD2 port, and there's a USB cord. Okay, so I want to head back over to the computer. Now, obviously, this is the page where I had placed my order on the tune. Now, once you have that placed, there's two steps you need to do. Is you want to head over to Technical, and then go to the HEX Flash Downloads Instructions page, and I'm going to head over to Lamborghini. Now, the first thing you need to do is, I'm on a Mac right now, so this is not going to work, but on my PC laptop, I went ahead and clicked this, and I downloaded this specific file and installed that on my laptop. The next thing you need to do is head over here to the instructions. It's right below this. So under down here you have the Gallardo, and then you have the Gallardo TCU and Huracán. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the Huracán instructions right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and print this out, and I'll show this over in the car when we start this process with downloading everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and print this out, and then let's head over to the car. Okay, so now I printed out the instructions just to make life a little bit easier for me. So step one, let's go ahead and grab our cable here, and we're gonna plug this end into the ODB2 sensor right there. And in the other end, let's grab our laptop, and let's plug in the laptop into the USB port. Also, we need to make sure the vehicle is in the on position. So what we're going to do now is let's go ahead and launch the software that we had downloaded. Let's go ahead and click I agree, and we're going to click next. Nice thing on here, VF Engineering's phone number is directly on there, so if you need to give them a call after the system checks its status to make sure that the laptop is good to go, we're going to go ahead and click next here, and make sure everything's connected. The vehicle's powered up in the on position, not running, but just in the on position. Let's go ahead and click next. Looking for communication. Now it's identifying the ECU. And so now we're at the detected ECU type. So in this step right here, now you want to check these instructions because they're different on each vehicle. My specific vehicle, I need to look for the Bosch MED17. So let's click from the drop-down menu, Bosch MED17, and then in parentheses, TC797 right there, and the X2. Perfect. So now, are you sure you know better? Yes. And I'm going to click next. Perfect. Now, all my vehicle details are right there. So what I'm going to do is click copy screen text. Your data has been copied to your clipboard, or you can just do a screenshot of this. After that, we need to head over to this website. So if we open up back our Chrome browser here, this is the same screen that we downloaded the software for the laptop, and where I was able to print these instructions from. Right down here at the bottom says software request form. So let's go ahead and click that link. It's going to take us over here to the submit a request here. So I'm going to put my email address in here. I'm going to go through and I'm going to fill out all this information here. My first name and last name and my VIN number, all this information. Now, a lot of that information, when you come down here, again, this is where you can screenshot that previous screen and upload it here, or I can do Control V and I can paste all the information in there and just go through and add any notes that you want. You're going to check the liability waiver, and then you're going to click submit. Once you have it submitted, it's going to get sent up to VF Engineering, and then according to this, it should take within 24 hours to get the file back from them. Now, I did speak with VF Engineering earlier on, and they told me if it's during normal business hours, don't be surprised if we get the email back from them within an hour. So I'm going to go to get this downloaded, send over to them, and then let's go ahead and get this thing out for a test drive so we can do a before and after. Okay, so the car is warmed up. I'm going to drive this in sport mode right now. That's the mode that I normally drive in. Strada obviously keeps the valves closed, much quieter. So let's put it in sport mode. Let's put it in gear, and we're going to do manual shifting here. And then let's see how this sounds here, stock. So when I let off in third gear here, you can hear a couple burbles there. Not a whole lot. So he doesn't do it all the time there. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So it's obviously it leaves much to be desired here. So I kind of have to get up closer to 5,000 RPMs to. There we go. That was a good one. All right, well, you get the idea. So let's head back and let's see if that file's come back from VF Engineering yet. Okay, so I got the file from VF Engineering. So what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and, there's two attachments here. So I'm going to go ahead and get the original one here, and I got the mod. So I'm just going to go ahead and download the mod one here. Let's save it to my downloads folder. And again, it says stage 1 RPM. Perfect. So got that downloaded there. I'll save that original one later. And then let's go ahead and launch the software, which I already have up and running. ODB2 sensors already plugged in, or the reader. USB's on. The vehicle's on. Not running, just the on position. And then per the instructions here, picking up on step 4, they had recommended keeping the vehicle plugged into some sort of power because it could take a while. So I do have it on a battery tender, C-Tech battery tender. Yep, step 4 here. Make sure it's connected to a battery charger, ignition turned on. So we're gonna go through step 1 and 2 again, just like before, which was, this was from before here. So let's close that. Let's relaunch the software because that was from earlier. I'm gonna click I agree, next. Everything's good, click next. And then after it's done reading, we're gonna need to go back over here, select this Bosch Med 1797X2. Yes. And click next. Okay, now at this screen here, instead of hitting the copy screen like we did in the last time, let's see here, step 5 on this particular page, what we're going to do is click software options here in the bottom right. So let's click software options. Now, software options, we're going to go ahead and from that option, we're going to click the force programming of ECU. So force programming of ECU. There we go. Okay, force memory ECU, click OK. Got OK. And then step 6, identification details screen, we're going to click program ECU memory. So not the, it looks like the software might have switched here because on here it says program ECU is, actually no, maybe they just cut it off here. So we're going to click program ECU memory. Okay. And then I guess we have to choose the file, select the desired file. So we're going to have to go back to our downloads folder. And where's downloads? There we go, downloads folder. And there's the file. Click open. All right. You're going to see a warning. Let me see here. Click open, follow the prompts to begin vendor comments or file. After reading the vendor comments, would you like to continue? Yes. All right. Now they said, you'll see warning lights on the dash, right, which I do see gearbox malfunction right now, and may hear a variety of noises from different modules within the vehicle. Do not be alarmed. This is completely normal. This flashing process may take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. And then we're going to proceed to step 3 in figure 4, which is basically just looks like we're going to hit OK. Once program is complete, you'll be prompted to switch off the ignition. So let's go ahead and I'm going to let this sit here because we're only at 1%. So I'm just going to leave this and then we'll come back once this is finished up here. Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes and I just got this notification says ignition is off. So please switch the ignition to the off position. Okay, so I switched it to the off position. Ignition is off. I guess I got to click this button here. So it looks like it's counting down here. ECU has been successfully programmed. Okay, so click OK, and then we can now disconnect the HEX cable from the ODB2 port, and let's go for a test drive. All right, so let's go get this all closed up, and let's go take this out for a test drive. Okay, so the car is nice and warmed up. Got it in sport mode, manual, and let's go for a little drive here and see if we notice any differences. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a lot more aggressive than it was before. Before it was just a couple pops and now it's like, so this is from 3rd gear. Yeah. So I'll move up to 4th. So even from 4th at low RPMs, I'm only at 2,500. Okay. Woo. It's noticed to be faster too. It's that 50 horsepower. I guess it represents almost 10% increase in power. So it's definitely noticeable. Like 3rd and 4th are having a hard time keeping traction on the back tires there. But yeah, there's that's the way it should sound. Yeah. Well, couldn't be any happier. Gotta love carbon ceramic brakes. Okay, so I just got back from a test drive and I can't tell you how excited I am. The car feels and sounds completely different. All those cracks and pops and burbles that were missing are now back, and it's even more aggressive than it was before they did the firmware update. So now it sounds proper. The horsepower too, it's an actual noticeable increase. That 40 to 50 horsepower, I mean, I'm having issues with the traction and going through third and fourth gear. So definitely a big noticeable difference with throttle response. I know the temperature is running a little bit lower too. I think that was something else that they mentioned with some sort of coolant control. But again, super happy. Really easy process to do it yourself. I'm sure you can have your local shop do it too, but I mean, it was really easy to communicate with them. They were always available. So I don't have enough good things to say about it. So I'm very happy with it. I'll leave links to them down in the description down below. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get back to everybody's comments. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and if you want to be notified of any future videos, feel free to hit the thumbs up, and then also feel free to subscribe. That way you can get notifications for any future videos that I come up with. So again, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.